It's a blessing to welcome on one of the top rising guys in 2022, the newest member of Brewster Academy, Dasonte Bowen. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Chilling, dog. How you doing?
Pretty good. Well, since the last time we talked, a lot of changes happened for you, and you're not going to be repping a New Jersey this upcoming year. You'll be wearing one of the more iconic high school jerseys now you can wear, Brewster Academy. Take us to this move.
Um, it was it was a hard decision to make, but I think it was the best decision for me and my family and going forward. So I'm excited for it.
Now, what ultimately led you to this decision? You're at a good situation before. This is, like I said, a big time program. Was it COVID related? Kind of take us through what led you to this decision.
Yeah, it was really COVID related. Just with them being a bigger school, different area, COVID being different in different places, it was allowed for them to be able to play much more openly than in the environment I was in. So it was just the best move to make.
And this will be at a big stage for you now. You'll be able to play in a lot of big games. Maybe not this year, but for sure next season when COVID's gone, they'll be in some of the biggest tournaments out there. How excited to really start playing this big national schedule where you're playing against the top teams pretty much every game?
Yeah, I can't wait. I feel like I've been preparing for this for a while and I think it's perfect timing. My name's starting to get out there a lot more around this time. So I think it's the best situation. You get to play some of these top guys.
And it's really been since COVID that you've really started getting a lot more buzz to your name. You're not seeing yourself inside the top 60, continue to rise up. More offers keep coming in for you. Take us through what this new Dasonte Bowen is going to look like when we see you take the court again.
I think since the last time people see me playing to now, my game has changed a whole lot. I think I'm a better point guard now, more athletic. The things I did good, I do even better now. So I think it's going to be a whole different player when I touch the floor again, to be honest.
And part of this rising up, as I mentioned, has been a lot more offers. And we talked about some of the schools last time. You've now had on quite a few more. Take us through who you're talking to the most right now, who's really pursuing you the hardest right now.
Um, I mean, I've been talking to Michigan a lot still, Iowa, Miami. A couple of new schools came in. Talked to Georgia a little. BC recently reached out. UConn. Who else? Arkansas also talked to me a lot. So a couple new schools coming in. It's been a fun situation. Getting to know a lot of these coaches. The same schools from before still recruiting me pretty hard. So it's been a good road.
Let's dig into some of these schools. The first one you mentioned, Michigan. We know there's a lot of buzz behind them. They're doing pretty solid so far in the first 2 years. Their coach Juwan Howard, but we all know this number one ranked recruiting class that everyone keeps talking about 2021 is making them a lot more appealing to guys. How does that kind of change your viewing of Michigan, seeing how many top guys have gone there now in 2021?
Um, I mean, I already knew about their past. I talked to the assistant coach Howard Isley a lot, so he's constantly keeping me updated. So I feel like with these other top guys going there, it adds on to the buzz a lot for sure. But I think it's mainly for me still on the relationship being built with the coaches and the environment I'll be in and that type of stuff. But the other top guys going there does definitely help a little.
And we do see there's some guys at your position. Is this something as a freshman you want to be able to go in and start or at least get a lot of crucial minutes your freshman year? Or is seeing someone where they have a few other guys that might be a year older than you at your position, does that impact your decision, not just with Michigan, but any school?
Um, Well, I mean, my biggest thing is I want to go somewhere where I'm gonna play, obviously, and I feel like I'm a lead guard, so I want to go somewhere where if it's not start right away, where it's potentially starting, maybe building my way into the starting lineup, but just looking to that bigger picture where I will be the starting point guard of their program eventually. So I feel like that's probably one of the biggest things for me, just where coach is gonna trust me as the point guard and have the ball in my hand more times than not.
Now, George is another interesting one. Coach Crean's an incredible coach, and he's developed a lot of guys at the guard position. Anthony Edwards might not have been a point guard, but still gets him to the number one overall draft pick in the NBA this past year. A lot of big time guards he's developed over his time, though. What about Coach Crean, just the overall Georgia program?
Honestly, Georgia, I haven't. I never really watched too much until Anthony Edwards got there. So I really like how they let their guards get out and play. Honestly, a lot of the other schools recruiting me are doing the same thing. Like I see Miami let their guards get out and play. Or Iowa, they got a top big man in the country right now. But other than that, they let their guards do them. So I feel like that's one of the eye openers for me. With any program recruiting me, coaches that just trust their guards and let them go.
So you've mentioned that a couple of times now. Obviously, that is a big impact in your decision. But in terms of a coach, take us through kind of what the dream coach might look like for you, both personality wise, on and off the court, his game style, his track record. Kind of take us through what the dream coach scenario would look like for you.
Um, Dream coach probably. Well, first of all, look at their resume. So what they've done with the past point guards they have. Someone who's gonna coach me hard, get me better. I don't want someone that's just gonna let me do whatever I want. Someone who's gonna help me develop my game to the maximum it could be at, and then someone who I could trust. To be honest, someone who's gonna be honest with me from the jump, and then it's gonna translate to if I end up going to their school.
And now I feel like in today's world, we have so many more connections because you're playing on the circuit on different EYBL, Adidas, Under Armour. You're just traveling a lot more. You kind of get to know players across the country. And if there's a guy that's a year or two older than you that has attended the school or even at there right now, will you be talking to those kind of guys?
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. If I know people at the school that's interested in me, I'll definitely be looking forward to their opinions, asking what made them go there, how they're liking it if they're already there, all that type of stuff.
A couple of schools I want to touch up on. One is Rutgers. I know last time that was the newest offer last time we talked, and that would be semi staying close to home for you. It'd be a program that's really on the rise right now. What do you like about them, and where's your relationship staying with them right now?
Um, Relationship's pretty good still. They check up on me here and there. I still got stay in contact with the assistant a lot. He's a Boston guy, so already had a relationship before he got there. They got I know the point guard there, Geo Baker. Uh, so the relationship's still pretty good. They're doing pretty well right now. So definitely be keeping them in the back of my head for sure.
Now, Iowa was the only school you've really taken a full-on visit to prior to this whole lockdown and COVID stuff going on. What did you like about that program when you got to see it from really the inside perspective?
Well, one, they were my first offer, so that always goes a long way with someone.
Hmm.
Um, it was a great experience. That was my first time being on like a high major school campus, so it was great to see the environment, how close they are with the fans. I got to watch a practice, so how McCaffrey's on them hard consistently, and how it's helping them a lot. To be honest, like you can see, 3-0 right now. So it was a great experience all around. Got to meet some of the guys there, get their opinions and that type of stuff.
You mentioned earlier too that they do have probably the best, maybe even the best player in the country right now, Luka Garza as a center. He won't be there if that's the school you ultimately chose down the road, but is playing with a big man that is capable or anywhere near somewhere like Luka something you'd like playing alongside, or would you rather be more offensive dominated by the guard position? Kind of talk about that situation.
Um, I mean, it would playing with any player of that caliber would be a great opportunity. But
Mhm.
I feel like well, one, it depends on the type of big man. Certain big men go with certain point guards. So any big man I could thrive with if they're at the level he's at, it would be great. But even if they weren't, any type of big man I could thrive with would have a big partake in what school I chose probably. And not only the big man, just the other players I'm surrounded by
Mhm.
and people I can help get better.
And we talked last time about a few different guys that you have kind of talked to about possibly teaming up with before. But if you're looking at guys that you think you play really well with, who are some of those guys? Not just direct names, just what kind of players really type of players really play well with you?
Um, well, in the past, I feel like, well, personally, I'm a point guard that likes to push it, but I can also play in the half court. So I like wings, athletic wings, wings that could shoot, guys that kind of like think the game how I think the game, because two brains is better than one always. So if someone's on the same page as me, I feel like it's a hard team to beat. And then if we got a whole team on the same page, it's even harder. So just guys that high IQ guys think the game well, and then if they're athletic and can shoot it, that's just even better to add on.
When stuff starts opening up again, colleges can start doing more visits. who are some of the colleges that you really plan to visit, or you even have talked to about to the coaches or staff about taking a visit to?
Well, I mean, most of the schools that I've already got offered by want me to eventually end up taking a visit. But I mean, I had some planned for the last fall. Obviously, couldn't go through with it because of COVID. But I was planning, like, I was supposed to go back up to Iowa. I know I was supposed to stop by Rutgers, Georgetown. Uh, well, those I think those are the main four at the time before all this COVID stuff happened. But yeah, I think when things open back up, I'll probably mainly hit some of the schools that have already offered me, that I've already been talking about it with. Oh, Miami added on to that too. So hopefully still keep those, maybe a few new ones, we'll see.
I don't really like rankings too much, but overall, I think it kind of is just something that it looks to more towards an acknowledgement of you. You know, you're a top level player, and your rankings are kind of sporadic. ESPN has you top 60, 247 has you right around the 60 range, Rivals has you outside of top 100. But what's your thoughts on that, and where would you personally put yourself in 2022?
Um, I mean, personally, I try. I don't really focus on rankings too much. I mean,
Hmm.
you step on the court, you same you another player, so it don't really matter too much to me. We both tie shoes for the game, same way. So I mean, personally though, I feel I'm a top 40, top 30 caliber player in the 2022 class, no matter where they putting me at or whatever. So I use it as motivation, look at it as disrespect. So when I step on the court, I just take it personal. Whether the person I'm playing is ahead of me, nowhere near me, it's whatever. I just take it personal against whoever I'm playing.
I do feel that when you go up against a guy that is ranked, whether it's in front of you, behind you, whatever, that a different mentality sometimes goes into it. You know, it's a big level matchup, and you have had some big games in your past so far. Who would you personally say is the favorite guard you like going up against in a game?
Um, I mean, I don't like people feeling too important to me, so I ain't gonna say no specific names, but I feel like I think ESPN got me as like the 10th point guard, something like that. So any
Mhm.
of those nine guys in front of me, if I see them, I'm gonna take it personal regardless.
I know you've mentioned before in other interviews that one of the biggest improvements you really want to work on, besides just the game aspect, is being a bigger leader, a vocal leader in the locker room on the court. Take us through that and how you plan to implement that into your game.
Uh, well, it's been a while, so I think I already implemented it really well. Just being in my previous school at Worcester, just being there, that was a young group of guys over there, and a lot of the times they were looking at me for work, whether it was during workouts, if we got to play at all, whatever. So I was kind of already had in my mind to enter the season as just being that leader that they were looking for. So I think I've developed it pretty well over this like quarantine and the little bit of school we've had so far. So I think I'm gonna just keep improving at it um, as I move on to this new school and hopefully get even better than I already got at it.
You have 2 years remaining of your high school career now, or I guess 1.5 nearing now, but 2 seasons left. What do you want to accomplish and achieve before you move on to college?
Um, I would say the main goal, I want to win the championship. I fell short of it last year, but made it to it. So I feel like this year it's a must. I gotta win it. If possible. I mean, this one I don't really care too much of it, but it would be nice to get a player of the year. That would be essential. It's not too important though, but that would be nice to get. And then uh maybe an undefeated season. That would probably be the last of my goals. That would be a nice way to go out of high school.
We already know that basketball is a year-round sport, and the next upcoming thing after high school is getting back into the AAU flow, and that's going to come hopefully this year in the spring, and you just have a real season again. But where do you kind of plan on running? I know BABC would have been this team before. You still plan on being with them? What does your AAU situation look like?
AAU right now, it's a little hectic right now, but as of now, it's BABC probably. Still got a lot of time, so I don't know too much, but as of now, yeah.
And this will be the first time getting back and playing a real AAU season. Hopefully, when it starts up again, what do you want to go out there and have really accomplish and get done your final AAU year if you get to have it?
Uh, as like we talked about before, I feel like when it comes to AAU, that's a much more than high school to like prove yourself. So I feel like just going out there with a chip on my shoulder. Like I said before, I feel I'm a top 40, top 30 player caliber, low caliber player in this class. So I feel like that's what I'm going out to prove this next AAU season.
Bow down. There was another school I did want to touch up on, and that is the HBCU route. We know TSU's offered you. A couple of schools have shown interest. What's your thoughts on that? Is that something you're seriously considering at this point in time? Take us to TSU and we'll get thoughts on them.
Um, TSU, it was definitely I enjoyed getting that offer. I feel like I'm definitely gonna end up visiting that school just to see the atmosphere. And from what I've heard, it's like it really don't compare to like any other normal school. And I feel like they don't get the attention. HBCUs in general don't get the attention that they deserve. So I feel like taking a visit there and seriously considering them will really help the kids coming up after me consider them and not just say, oh, you have to go to one of these Power Five schools or one of these schools to be successful. So I think I definitely want to just consider them and get the experience of visiting a school like that.
And as a player, I know sometimes it can be a little nervous going to school if they haven't had a lot of big time players before. And we've seen how Schumaker was the first to really start this, being the first 5-star, highest ranked. Got to go. The Duncan Powell's now gone out to one. He's also creating this movement now. Seeing these top ranked guys start taking the risk and going out there, is that something that becomes more appealing to you? Is that something that you see as a more likely opportunity because of other guys going there and not just considering it?
I mean, yeah, it definitely does appeal. I mean, I would definitely want to see how they perform at these type of schools and where it takes them in the future. But my biggest thing is probably if if you're a pro, like you're gonna be a pro regardless of where you go. So I feel like that's gonna play a large role in it. So honestly, it's just seeing what the same way as I said with the other schools recruiting me is just seeing who they can surround me with, the relationship I build with the coaches, and then just take it from there.
Absolutely. Now you have on Twitter, be phenomenal, be forgotten. Take us through that and what that means to you.
Um, yeah, I seen that when I was younger. I was a big fan of De'Aaron Fox, and that was what he had. And then like I seen it one day, and I thought deep about it. And it's like, am I like if you're not being great, like if you're not giving people to a reason to follow you every day and a reason to support you, you're gonna be forgotten. So if you're not being great every day and just finding a way to be better every day, you're gonna like people gonna forget about you. So that's something I really use to motivate me.
And I want to touch on wrapping up with your faith a little bit. I know you're a believer in you have different phrases and you tweet out different stuff all the time. You also have it in your Instagram bio. Just take us through your faith and why you've decided to be so vocal about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so vocal about it just because like God is great. He's done a lot for me, to be honest, and then also just for like the people coming up after me, because like a lot of times people are like nervous to voice their faith in God, which like shouldn't be the case, just because of what He's done for me personally. Like the last interview I had, I told you all the like how He's blessed me so much and how I'm staying faithful, and then I keep believing in you see over that the time that we last spoke to now how my recruitment has gone up, my name's going up. So I give it all to him and I just thank him. And I can't wait to see what he's gonna do for me next.
I think as a believer, we always know there's ups and downs, but at some point you really start having that true connection as you and God and really start forming that bond with Him where you trust Him, you talk to Him daily. When was that turning point for you?
Um Honestly, it was I'll probably say it was definitely in high school, probably my earlier years. So like my second freshman year, probably to like the beginning of my sophomore year was really when it turned, just because that was when I first switched over to prep school. Um, I got hurt a couple of times, so things were definitely really hard, and I wanted to quit at times, but just my parents, my mom being a strong believer, she's probably one of the strongest believers I know. But just my mom being on me, just saying, trust him, he's gonna come for you, just trust him. And when I really started to buy into that was when I started to see things turn around. Like I came back from all the injuries way better than I was before. Like all these schools started to reach out because that was one of my biggest like stresses when I wasn't really getting recruited too hard, but I felt like I was working. So just trusting him and then where he's brought me from and to where I'm at now is just like I can't stop because you never know what he got in store for you next.
when injuries and hardship comes, is typically where there's kind of a difference point for some people. Some people decide to start trusting in God and become closer with Him. Some go the opposite way and get away from faith. How are you able to get closer to God and utilize Him and really rely on Him? And what's your advice to the people going through hardships to trust in God?
Um, I mean, it was, I can't lie, like I didn't just go straight to I'm just gonna believe. Like it was definitely really hard. Like I definitely wanted to stop. I wanted to quit, but just like I said, my mom being there with me, just telling me, constantly putting in my head, and then me finally listening and seeing results, I would say it helped. And then people going through hardships, one of the one of the biggest quotes I always follow is, it's like during the test, the teacher is always quiet. So like when you're in a test in school, the teacher not coming to give you answers, they're just quiet observing. So I think of it as the same thing with God. Like when he put a test on you, like when you're going through these hard times, these injuries and stuff, like you feel like he's not there, but he watching to see if you still trust him. And then when you show him that you do, you often see like that's when he give you all the blessings you've been praying for and all that. So stay faithful and see what he got in store for you. It never fails.
Couldn't agree more, man. My final thing for you, I was like talking about your legacy. So when you are done playing basketball and it's getting closer and closer to the college level and then eventually pros, what do you want to be remembered for what you do with on and off the court?
Um, well, on the court, I want to be remembered as just one of the legends to come from where I'm from. I mean, we have a couple, but they don't really get the buzz they deserve. So I want to be one of them that get the buzz that they deserve coming from Boston. And then off the court, just being like a normal person. Like I don't want to be someone who like didn't sign autographs or someone who was too stuck up for themselves, forgot about people. Like I just want to be remembered as just a good soul, to be honest, just a positive person. That's it. So yeah,
Absolutely, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking the come on today, and I can't wait to see what God got next for you when you get back on the court, man. Of
for sure. Appreciate you.
course, y'all's welcome on, man. God bless.
For sure, you too.